Have you ever wanted to make a scene into a sandstorm? Well, you can. In this video, I'm going to show you how to do 3 things which will make your scene turn into a sandstorm. 2 of these will help with just a picture render, while the third one will bring it to life using animation. And I'll show you how to go from this to this in a matter of minutes. To start off, we're going to make the dust particles that are passing by. To do this, make a cube, scale it up on the X and Z axis, and move it off the screen. Then you can rotate it in a way that you want the dust to go. There will be an emitter particle system which will blow the dust across the scene. Then make a particle system on the cube and change the render as from halo to object. Now to make the dust, start off with a UV sphere and add a displace modifier. Make a new texture, then click on the pills on the side of the texture. Now change the type of texture from image to noise or Musgrave. Then you can change the sliders to change how the particle looks. I went for a more sharp looking particle. You can do what you think would suit your scene the best. Next, set the instance object as the dust particle that we just made. Now when you play the animation, you should see a bunch of particles spawning and falling. Make sure to scale down these particles so it's not that massive. Next, add a material. A rough and yellow material works best. Now to make the dust move across the scene, make a new force and set it to wind. Then position the wind behind the cube and angle it to where you want the dust to blow. Then set the strength to something high, around 40. But if you want slower dust, make it lower, and if you want it to blow faster, make the strength a lot higher. You could then play around with the scale, amount, and lifetime of the particle until you get the results that you want. But after that, the big dust particles are basically done. Next, we're going to make the yellow hue that you can see in the render. Taking a cube and scaling it up. Next, make a material and go into the shader tab. Delete the original shader and make a new volume scatter node and plug it into the volume on the output. Turn on the density to something around 0.03 and turn up the anisotropy to around 0.8. Now if you want the density to be higher, around 0.1, then set the color to be the opposite on the color wheel, in this case around a bluish color. But for anything less than that, make the color any shade of yellow that you want. Next, to make it seem that there are small particles in the volume, plug a node into a math node and then the result of that into the density. Set up the noise to be around 50 on the scale and 15 on the detail. Then set the math node to be multiply and set the multiplied number to be around 0.1. Then to make it move, set the noise to be 4D and set a time frame on the W from the first frame, then set the W to a higher value and set that on the last keyframe. And now we're done with the ambient color. Now it's time to make the animation pop. Firstly, download the Shakeify add-on. I'll have a link in the comments. Then install it from Edit Preferences. Now if you select the camera, you should get a panel at the bottom called Camera Shakeify. You can use Shakeify and pick one of the presets. I picked Handy Cam Run and set the influence to 0.25, which I felt was good. And that's basically the end of the camera motion. You can obviously make this better with more time, and one thing that you can improve this a lot is a good compositor. If you want to learn about that, check out the video I made on it a while ago. Thanks for watching, I'll see you in the next one.